Wang Lin lifted both hands and drew 2 more blood talismans, cold, sharp, and unforgiving, then sent them straight into its brow. Dark light poured in. The beast trembled violently, aura rising higher and higher, like a fire being forced to burn beyond its limits. Wang Lin waited patient, controlled, like a hunter. Hello friends, welcome back to 3D Cartoon Review. Today, we are diving into Renegade Immortal episode 126, where the silence before a storm is more terrifying than thunder because Wang Lin isn't being chased anymore, he's about to do the hunting. Before we begin, if you enjoy cinematic storytelling recaps like this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next episode. And comment below, which moment gave you chills the most in episode 126, Wang Lin's kneel, or the Eight Xian Wei formation? Alright, let's jump in. At the end of the previous episode, Wang Lin returned to the soul refining tribe, sealed himself in cultivation, and forced Yao Qixue to reveal the truth. From her fear and broken words, Wang Lin finally learned the hidden secret behind Qinglin Xiandi's cave dwelling, and he understood something chilling. It wasn't just an inheritance. It was a trap wrapped inside fate. Time passed quietly, like ash drifting after a fire, until one day Wang Lin stepped out of the ancient battlefield's pagoda without warning anyone. He didn't gather allies. He didn't ask for protection. He simply walked into the wild calm, silent and sharper than a drawn blade. Not long after, he arrived at a barren plain thousands of li away, where the horizon was empty and the wind carried faint, mocking whispers. This place looked ordinary, but Wang Lin chose it carefully. Far from the tribe, far from witnesses, far from anyone who might be harmed, he stood alone under the open sky, then flicked his wrist and tossed out the Kusho One, letting the scroll unfurl like a dark tongue. Instantly, the air grew heavier, and the pressure in the world shifted, as if a cage had opened, and something violent had just been invited out. Wang Lin's fingers formed a clean hand seal, and space rippled, then She Shen Che appeared, cold and ominous, like an ancient weapon awakened. The fierce beast bound to it surged forward at once, charging like a small mountain, its aura roaring outward, its hunger and fury thick as blood. The earth trembled under its paws, dust exploded upward, and the beast lunged as if it wanted to crush Wang Lin through sheer brutality. But Wang Lin's eyes didn't change. He raised his right hand and drew a crimson blood talisman in mid-air, each line precise, each stroke calm, like writing a death sentence. With a flick, the talisman shot forward and pierced straight into the beast's forehead, landing between its brows like a nail pinning down fate. The beast threshed and roared, but Wang Lin's voice cut through the storm. First, seal path open. A violent surge exploded from the beast's body. Its soul force climbed instantly, its aura spiking as if it had swallowed a forbidden flame. The beast staggered upright, eyes bloodshot, then opened its mouth wide enough to swallow a man whole and lunged at Wang Lin again. Wang Lin didn't retreat. He slapped forward with a gale-like palm, and the beast flew backward, skidding across the ground and carving trenches through the earth. Humiliated, it forced itself up again, shaking dust off its body like a demon shaking chains, refusing to accept control. Wang Lin lifted both hands and drew 2 more blood talismans, cold, sharp, and unforgiving, then sent them straight into its brow. Dark light poured in. The beast trembled violently, aura rising higher and higher, like a fire being forced to burn beyond its limits. Wang Lin waited patient, controlled, like a hunter staring at the exact moment a trap would snap shut. Then he roared, second seal path open. The sky answered with thunder. Lightning stabbed down repeatedly, wrapping the beast into a giant sphere of crackling electricity, turning its rage into a prison of storm. Inside the lightning ball, the creature's form twisted, then an ancient storm-born presence awakened, sharp and cruel. A Lei Shou emerged, its body lined with electric patterns, eyes blazing, roar shaking the air like a heavenly decree. Wang Lin moved instantly and pressed a deeper blood talisman into its forehead, forcing obedience into the center of its soul. The Lei Shou shuddered, then lowered its head. Resistance collapsed like a broken tower, and She Shen Che gained another servant. For a moment, Wang Lin watched carefully, ensuring stability, no flaws, no hidden rebellion. then turned away without pride. Because to him, this wasn't victory. This was preparation. He left the plane quietly, but the air around him felt like a blade slowly sliding out of its sheath. Far away, inside a fortified city, a black shadow knelt before a short, elderly figure whose eyes were small, but poisonous. Everyone called him Lao Zu. The shadow bowed and reported. They had confirmed where Wang Lin vanished in the Guyaojun capital 20 years ago. Lao Zu's expression tightened with satisfaction. A Guyao messenger. Good, he said. Send 3 squads and bring 1 Shen Wei. Then he gave the order like a nail sealing a coffin. Capture him for me. The shadow nodded once and vanished into darkness like spilled ink. After it left, Lao Zu muttered to himself, greedy, confident, imagining Wang Lin as a weapon he could polish into a new Xian Wei. As long as he hasn't reached Wending, Lao Zu whispered, a Xian Wei is enough. But that confidence would soon taste bitter. Back at the soul-refining tribe, Wang Lin sat inside the Black Tower, where demonic qi drifted like smoke, and strange shadows watched from corners. He cultivated in silence, until faint disturbances brushed the formation outside, like fingernails scraping a sealed coffin. A group had arrived. The tribe's formation barrier stopped them immediately, but they didn't panic. Under a leader's command, they began attacking in rhythm. Explosions flashed, ripples spread, cracks formed like spider webs, as the barrier was worn down through sheer persistence. Not long after, a thin gap opened. The intruders rushed inside and charged straight toward the tower with killing intent so open it was almost arrogant. Wang Lin opened his eyes slowly and stepped forward, calm as if welcoming guests to tea. Fellow Taoists, he asked, you come with slaughter? What has Wang Lin done to offend you? The leader barked. Wang Lin kneel and receive the decree. Join the Cultivator Alliance. Wang Lin lifted his teacup, took a slow sip, then lowered it and asked coldly, the Alliance, you think you're worthy to question me? Faces tightened. Pride flared. The yellow-robed envoy stepped forward and attacked at once. He shot into the air, formed seals, and a gigantic golden phantom appeared, towering like a divine executioner. A haughty voice boomed, one who blasphemes immortals, body and soul shall be annihilated. A massive axe appeared in the phantom's hand and swung down with murderous force. Wang Lin didn't dodge. He raised one hand and a terrifying force burst outward, shattering the axe midair like brittle glass. His voice was cold and absolute. The golden phantom collapsed instantly, exploding into fragments of light. The envoy was dragged down by invisible force and smashed into the ground, and Wang Lin's restraints sealed his meridians completely. The envoy's arrogance shattered into panic. Senior misunderstanding. Please, this is a misunderstanding. Then a bitter voice behind him shouted, Son Yunshan, an old acquaintance, forced to stand among them like a hostage. Brother Wang, Son Yunshan cried. Their real purpose is to capture you. Wang Lin's response was a casual wave, as if brushing away dust. A violent wind shredded the envoy into blood mist, and his Yunshan tried to flee, only to be devoured by black mist above. The remaining cultivators trembled. Wang Lin ignored them, looking only at Sun Yunshan. Brother Sun, many years. Sun Yunshan's eyes reddened. Brother Wang, save me. Wang Lin nodded once, then brought him into the tower like pulling a man out of drowning water. Inside, Sun Yunshan confessed everything: the Alliance's structure, their hidden base, and the mysterious immortal realm Lao Zu commanding the capture. He revealed the cruel truth. He and his uncles were controlled and turned into puppets through a foreign force planted in their souls. Wang Lin didn't hesitate. He reached into Sun Yunshan's mind and crushed the foreign Yunshan fragment. What remained condensed into a small Suì Yù piece packed with terrifying immortal force and a strange thought imprint. Wang Lin understood immediately. It could raise an ordinary cultivator to Wending-like strength, but the fusion was unstable and dangerous. A shortcut made of poison. Sun Yunshan gave the location, deep in a deadly miasma zone between Huoyaojun and Jinyaojun. Wang Lin's decision hardened. He would go straight to the source and end the harassment permanently. He swept up Sun Yunshan and the captured cultivators, then transformed into a meteor and shot north through the sky. Clouds split. Wind screamed. Mountains blurred below. Soon the air grew thick with sickly fog, carrying ghost wails that slipped into the mind like needles. At the miasma's center, Lao Zu was performing a vile technique, draining essence from 3 young girls. When Wang Lin entered, Lao Zu jolted awake, the technique snapped, and the backlash left the girls aged and withered in an instant. Wang Lin walked through the poisonous fog while ghostly shrieks rose around him, trying to crack his Dao heart through fear. He remained indifferent and formed seals. Then he unleashed Hun Quan. A colossal vortex erupted and swallowed the 10,000-year miasma like a whirlpool devouring the world. The fog screamed as it was ripped away, and sunlight touched the ground for the first time in ages. With the miasma cleared, a white city appeared ahead, more than 100 cultivators hovering outside it in panic. A Tianyun Zong disciple recognized Wang Lin and turned pale, sensing a calm master-like confidence beyond typical Wending cultivators. Wang Lin's voice cut through them. "Move!" Most retreated immediately. Only one arrogant youth tried to shout, but Wang Lin's killing intent pierced him through the eyes, forcing him to cough blood and retreat. A straight path opened into the city. From within, Lao Zu's voice echoed, "Kill the uninvited guest." A black-clad Eight Xian Wei burst out, transforming into a massive beast and trying to swallow Wang Lin whole. Wang Lin raised one finger and pointed, TG, extinction intent carrying his Dao thought. Black light flashed, the beast shattered like dust. The Xian Wei died instantly, and the surrounding cultivators froze in disbelief. Lao Zu's tone finally softened. "Taoist Wang," he said, "I was reckless. You've killed 2 Xian Wei. Let that be even. Leave today and I won't trouble you." Wang Lin kept walking and shook his head. 2 Xian Wei are only 2 Suì Yù blocks, he said calmly. How could that repay the price of provoking me? Lao Zu's pride shattered. Negotiation died. He roared, "Eight Xian Wei, attack!" Summon the Immortal Emperor Phantom. 8 figures shot out and formed a strict formation, hands changing seals rapidly as immortal force merged unnaturally. A majestic phantom appeared, a middle-aged Immortal Emperor in robes holding a green-blue sword, radiating pressure that forced many cultivators to kneel. Lao Zu declared he was from the immortal realm, wielding true immortal arts to threaten Wang Lin. Wang Lin did not retreat. He raised his hand, and Huangquan descended like an underworld river. When the phantom pointed its sword forward, crushing pressure slammed down, enough to break ordinary Dao hearts instantly. But Wang Lin stepped forward, defying heaven itself. The Eight Xian Wei spat blood to strengthen the phantom until the Immortal Emperor's eyes looked almost alive. Still illusion. When Wang Lin's foot struck the earth, the phantom shattered like a mirror exploding. Huangquan surged through the 8 Xian Wei bodies, collapsing them instantly. Wang Lin collected 8 Suì Yù fragments. With terrifying calm, Lao Zu burst out from the collapsing city, spewing immortal qi to counter extinction. Thousands of strands appeared, Xianliang weaving toward Wang Lin like a net meant to bind fate. They rushed forward, sharp, countless, hungry. Wang Lin remained calm, slapped his storage bag, and released a soul from the Hun Quan. A Qinglin Xiandi soul erupted, majestic, savage, overwhelming. The Xianliang army trembled. Their ferocity collapsed into fear, and they fled as if their instincts screamed death with every heartbeat. But Lao Zu still didn't surrender. And right here at the edge of desperation, episode 126 leaves us hanging, with the next clash ready to explode. Now I want to hear from you. If you were Wang Lin, would you end Lao Zu immediately, or would you force him to reveal every secret first? Drop your answer in the comments. I read them all, and I'll pin the best ones. If you enjoyed this episode recap, like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who loves cultivation stories and ruthless revenge arcs. Thanks for watching 3D Cartoon Review. See you in the next episode.